Why, hello, dear beloveds. Well, I am coming to you today because I'm noticing something that seems to be quite commonly accepted, even amongst my blessed spiritual community and even amongst the wider spiritual community that I observe on Facebook and the women and men that I follow. And I really want to just talk to this, that I'm seeing, this thing that I'm seeing everywhere around me, because I feel like it's absolutely us buying into a fear paradigm that in fact is the opposite of what our mandate in the world is. And so it might seem innocuous or like it's okay, but I want to kind of go live today to say why I don't think it's okay. And so what is it, Ricky? What are you talking about? It's this very little matter of constantly bemoaning and bitching about how difficult your life is at this holiday period, whatever that holiday for you is, and for whatever that reason is. It might be because in Australia, for example, we're about to go into 6 weeks of school holidays, or it might be because you've got so many things you have to buy, or it might be because you've got so many events you have to go to, or it might be because you're so overwhelmed with work, or you're super tired, or whatever the story is. I'm seeing so many people talking about this time that they're referring to as the silly season, and talking about it in such negative ways. And it's doing my head in, because it is simply a symptom of your privilege that you are so abundant with everything that you need, people who are inviting you places, money to buy presents, places to go, children to love, time over the summer or winter to get together with the people around you, that your story of woe and suffering is just sitting so badly with me. Now, I've said for a long time, I love you like Christmas. That's often my sign off when I write an email or when I write a Facebook post. And I don't say that because casually. I say it because this time of year, regardless of your faith and regardless of whether you celebrate a Christian holiday or whether you don't, it doesn't really matter. This time of year is where the collective consciousness gathers together in celebration. There are more parties, there are more presents, there's more food, there's more booze. And all of these things should be a cause for celebration, because it means that you are abundant enough, even if you're not abundant in money, to be part of a global celebration and a global collective or merging of consciousness right now. So the whole planet is focused on this time of year, whether for you it's part of a holiday in the sense of a religious holiday, or whether it's because you get time off, or whether it's because there's just lots and lots of things going on, or whether it's because it's New Year's. It doesn't really matter. There's so much that happens in December that collects all human consciousness and focuses it on this kind of single point. And it's absolutely an opportunity for us to tap into the joy. Now, for me, one of my guides is Jesus, and that is the collective, not the individual kind of idea of a Christian person, but the collective idea of the Christ consciousness. That Christ energy is what is guiding human planetary awakening, and that Christ at heart is a symbol that all of us can connect to regardless of our religion. That Christ consciousness is about generosity, joy, benevolence, healing, grace, love. It's unconditional love. And this is the time of year where we get to be really public about that, and we get to talk about that and sing about that and eat all the food in a cause of celebration to that Christ at heart. This is a time where we can, as spiritual people on the path, be contributing so much to the collective consciousness, to those who are not confident or in the light, of those who are in fear, of those who feel the burden of this time of year, rather than those who are like us, who are able to contribute something that will make a positive change for everybody right now, because there's only one of us here. The collective consciousness is one consciousness. And so the way we choose to approach this time of year is what we're gifting to the world at this time of year. So I want you to look at the gift that you're offering to the planet right now and all humanity, and just check with yourself. Is it a shitty gift? Is it an egoic gift of believing that you're so busy and life is so hard and you have so many presents to buy and so many parties to go to and so much food to eat that you are burdened? Really? Let's look at that. Let's really investigate what is the gift that I'm offering to the collective right now, because I am a spiritual person, which means that I have a divine responsibility to see things differently and to contribute that shift in perception to the world through an altered vibration that allows me to make something better for somebody else just by changing my perception of my reality. There is nothing in your life right now that is unchangeable simply by changing your mind about it. So you may still have to go to all the family functions. You may still have to tackle the shopping centers on, peak busy season. You may still have to do all of those things. But what if you shift your perception of your reality right now and lean into gratitude of the abundance of your life? And I guarantee you, if you're watching this, your life is more abundant and more free than you can possibly know. And so my antidote to this absolute woe is me, it's such a crazy time of year, how am I possibly going to survive my glorious life, is to get over yourself and to remind yourself that you are able to change everything for everyone around you if you start changing your mind about this time of year and get on board with the truth that this is the opportunity to celebrate your divine nature. This is an opportunity to celebrate joy. This is an opportunity to celebrate abundance and just the stunning, I am mad about Christmas decorations. I drive around the streets at nighttime like a little child, full of innocent wonder at the beauty of a fairy light, at the beauty of a Christmas bauble, at the beauty of a tree. I have no cynicism about the beauty of what we can create at this time together if we want to. I just love to go to shopping centers and just sit there and look at those magic freaking giant trees they put up for me, just so I can enjoy the beauty of that. I don't have to attach any more meaning to that than I want to attach, other than it makes me really, really happy. There is so much about this time that is easy to love if you let yourself off the idea that it's difficult and hard work and blah, 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 and oh my God, you have to spend time with people who love you. What a terrible burden. But I also want to mention to you the gift of choice that you also have, which means that you are entitled to say no. If there are things that you're being invited to or requests that are being made of you that do not feel good, don't let your sense of false responsibility put you in places and in situations you don't want to be in. Love yourself enough to say no to the shitty events you don't want to go to. Just give yourself permission. That doesn't mean that you have to then look at everything around you as a terrible burden. Oh no, I had to say no to going to hang out with people I didn't really want to hang out with in the first place. Now I'm a wicked person and this season is terrible and I feel so guilty and now I'm going to project that onto the world and make everyone else feel shit too. Just love yourself so much that you give yourself the gift of choosing where you put your time and energy this year. And if you are going to go somewhere, be the cause for celebration, be the cause for joy. See what you can gift to the world right now rather than what you get out of it. And stop making this all about you, which is what and why and how we get so overburdened by this time of year, is that we make it all about us. It's like, let's just put all that sense of overwhelming responsibility down. Lean into the fact that this is a time to celebrate God consciousness in the form of his beloved son, Jesus, and that Christ consciousness is simply a symbol of the Christed heart, the pure heart, the innocent heart, the sacred heart. And let's see if we can return our innocence to this time of year. Remember what it feels like to be the child on Christmas Eve, and see if you can be the cause for some of that innocence returning to the world, rather than the cynicism of the grown-up who's all like, this is all a crock of shit, it's commercialism and blah, 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 blah. Actually, no. This time of year is actually about celebrating the divine. It's about celebrating the Sacred Heart. And if you want it to be that, that is what it will be. So that's my offer to you today, is the antidote to all these tales of woe that I'm seeing around the place, is to put down your story of burden and to take up the mantle of the innocent Sacred Heart and gift that to the world, and back yourself up with the choices that you make. Be discerning with how you spend your time and who you give it to, and love yourself so much much that you are unafraid of everybody else's expectations of you right now, because that is your freedom right there. And that is how we give that freedom to other people, and we stop having guilty relationships with the world. So that's all I wanted to share with you. Thank you for joining me. And to those of you who've just been in the third level circle, of course, you would have heard an even more strongly worded version of that. Let the Christ consciousness be with you right now. Let yourself be overjoyed with love for what you are, the freedom you have, the abundance that you have, and gift that to the world rather than pouring a shitty, bad attitude on everything right now. Mwah. I love you like Christmas.